back to other duties as assigned. Welcome back for our third part in our back to school edition. We've talked about how we support teachers and how we support students for a great school year, but I want to talk a little bit about how you support yourself and how you should support the work that you're going to do this year to have a great school year. And I think it's supporting teachers, supporting students is really important. And I think sometimes what ends up happening is we put all of our effort into those two duties that we forget to support ourselves. And we have to set up some routines and some things we're going to talk about to help ourselves be successful and have a great school year. I think great administrators unfortunately sacrifice for themselves a lot of times for the betterment of their school. And I think you can have both. I think you can support yourself and have a great school at the same time. And I think that's something I'd like for you to take away maybe from today's podcast. So when we talk about supporting yourself, I think it starts with you've got to have some goals for the year. You're going to have goals for the school. You're going to have goals. Your teachers are going to maybe have goals set for themselves. But I think you need to sit down and think to yourself, what are the things that maybe I didn't do last year that I want to do? Maybe what are the things that, our school would be better if I did this. Our school would be better if we can accomplish if I accomplish certain things, if I change certain things about what I do. And I think those are the kinds of things that in the summer months leading to that first day of school, if you can sit down and kind of line those up for yourself, I think you can be really successful. I would go back to what I talked about with supporting teachers though, put it on an index card. It can't be a 12-page Google Doc. It's got to be short and sweet. What are some really key things? I think sometimes when we set too many goals for ourselves, and we do a bunch of them, but we don't get them all done, we feel like we failed. And that's not the case because you've accomplished all these goals. And so what I would encourage you to do is, create a short list of goals and make them very high value goals, things you definitely want to get done and you're willing to invest your time to do. They can be as simple as, reading professionally. They could be as simple as increased visibility in the hallways. They could be simple as how you organize your classroom observations so you can feel like you're in classrooms more frequently and more regularly. I think that's really, really important. And I think from those goals, I think then you come up with routines. A simple one that I've used is when I set up my observations for the year, I use a Google Sheet and I set up, who I need to observe, what classrooms I want to be in, and I break them down by week. And then I do a mass import into my Google Calendar. So each Monday, waiting for me are the classrooms that I'm going to get into that week. And then I take those and I look at my calendar for the week and I drag those in to certain times, certain class periods. And I spend about, probably 15 minutes every Monday morning doing that and kind of laying out what my week of observations are going to look like. Sometimes I might have a district meeting, or I might have a discipline meeting, or I might have something I'm out of the building for. And so, I can't do any observations on Thursday, so I'm going to pull a couple extra in on Tuesday. And I think by laying it out each week like that, it makes it really clear. And that way I can kind of pace myself. I want to get 3 done every day, or I want to get this many done every week. And so by doing that, makes it really easy for me to kind of hold myself accountable for getting to that goal. Another one I've talked about before is being out in the hallways more, not during passing periods. I'm pretty good about that, but during the class periods themselves, I'm guilty of kind of retreating to my office to get work done while kids are in class. But I think this year I'm going to try to be really intentional about certain class periods on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Maybe it's the odd periods, maybe Tuesday, Thursday, it's the even periods, taking my mobile cart, and I'm gonna go station myself at new spots around the building. You may be able to hear it. We have some construction going on, and we're gonna be getting some new parts of the building online over the next few months. And as that happens, definitely gonna wanna be in those spaces more to see how they're being used, but also to just add some extra layer of supervision Again, setting expectations, holding kids accountable is really important to having great school culture. And the only way you can do that is to be out in the building and see what's going on. And I think that's a really important part of that. I think part of routines too is not just having routines that help you accomplish your goal, but having routines that help you find balance. Talked about this in a previous podcast about managing stress. I encourage you to go back and look at that one. That's a good pre-school year video to remind yourself of some strategies. But what are you doing for yourself to help you reset each day? What are you doing to help yourself when you get home to be the best husband, wife, mother, father that you can be? And then what are you doing in the mornings, maybe before you come to work, to help you be the best administrator you can be? I've done it all. I've tried it all. I've found pieces that I like and love and couldn't live without maybe. And I think, everybody needs to try those things to try to, again, create routines. It takes 21 days to turn a habit into or to create a habit, and, to create that routine and that habit that's so important. And I think what better time than the start of school to get started on those things. I always like to come back from summer vacation kind of mid-July and really focus on, really securing my routines from a health perspective, from a mental health perspective, as well as a school perspective. And I think if I can get those in place before kids and staff get back, I'm that much better of an administrator. And so I would really encourage you, as you look at your timeline, to think about doing those things as well. The start of school year is stressful. I always say that I start to take a breath when we get to Labor Day every year. But I do think that there's a really important work that happens in those first few weeks of school that really set you up for a good school year. I encourage you all to do that hard work, to really set those expectations and holding kids accountable, to work with them, to, those new kids who are new to your school, those freshmen, those transfer kids, helping them get acclimated to what it means to be a student at your school and how they can be successful. Reach out, build those relationships. There's nothing more important than learning a kid's name on his first or her first day at school and being able to remember where they're from and touch base with them on days 2, 3, and 4 to make sure things are going well. I love what I do. I hope that you do too. And I just, this is a chance to get to share with you kind of my thoughts for Keep Indiana Learning and helping administrators grow. I'm looking for more ways to connect with them and conferences and things along the road here, because I think we are doing some really important work as educators and as school administrators, and I want to help everybody continue to think creatively and think of other ways to do things. I do not have all the answers, that's for sure, but I always like to talk about things and to think through things and to share to get better. Constant improvement is a really important piece to being a good educator and to being a good human being. And so I hope that you found one little nugget in this that might help you. We're going to continue forward. We finished our back to school edition. I'm guessing by the time we're through the middle of August, almost everybody is back to school. And so then we'll start in with some more school topics and continue to grow our duties and our strengths as administrators. So thanks again for tuning in and have a great day.